Hello, I'm Simon and welcome to my first tutorial on beginning ARK. I'm using the Steam version and I'm making an assumption that you've downloaded it and got it ready to play. So let's jump in. We're going to go for a single player claim, so click on host local and we're going to select the island and play single player. There are customizations and modifications that you can add to this game, but that's we'll cover that in another tutorial later. So let's just jump in. Click play single player and it'll load into the character creation screen, which there's not a lot to do there. It should be fairly quick. Here we go. Right, so we're going to pick one of the easy zones for this tutorial. I'd like to start around here because later in the game you've got access to pearls and metal and things at the volcano. So we'll start down here because it's probably going to be a lot less violent for us. So create new survivor. Select zone 1 south easy. Customize your character if you want to. It has no effect on the game, although the appearance does show in the game what you've set here. Give your character a name and create new survivor. If you overwriting a character you've already got on the map, you'll see this pop up and we wake up somewhere on the ARK. Bit of an itch. And we're ready to go. So the first thing to do is, once you get control of the game, is to have a quick look round to make sure there's nothing about to eat you. Sometimes ARK can be a bit mean and place you very close to something with sharp teeth, which is not too good. Okay, so it looks fairly safe. It doesn't look like there's anything about to eat us, so let's have a quick look at the controls. You've got the usual WASD for forwards, backwards, left and right. Whilst you're walking forwards using W, if you press shift your character will run. The mouse turns you around and you can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. There are some things in the game that only work if you're zoomed in, and sometimes when you're dissecting dinosaurs, you need to be zoomed in sometimes for the smaller ones for it to work. So we've got a level up already, so we press the I for inventory. We've got various things we can put our points into. First game it doesn't really matter, but we'll put 10 points into health. Every time you level up, it takes you to the engram page where you can spend your engram points that you get every time you level. You start with being able to make the note, pick and torch. We'll go for the campfire and the stone hatchet and then click across to get off it. On the right hand side you can see the arrow that's filling up with yellow. When that gets to the top you get another level. Below that's your weight, below that's water, food, and then stamina and health right at the bottom. You will need to get a campfire fairly early on in the game to cook food, because you can get berries, but they just don't give you enough. So let's get the first tool made, which is the pick. So if you go into your inventory and crafting, hover over the pick and it tells you that you need 1 stone, 10 thatch and wood. So let's collect some stone, thatch and wood. Your first pieces of stone you can pick up from the beach. It can be a little bit of an issue sometimes trying to work out what's stone and what's shells and things. But if you move close to them and press E, if it's a stone you'll pick it up. You can actually press E while you're walking as well. So that gives us some stone. So we now need some thatch and wood, so we're going to have to go and punch some wood. So if you left click, we're now punching the wood. You get experience points pretty much doing everything in ARK. So let's press I to go into our inventory. Put another 10 point health on, and just close out of the engram. You don't want to spend all your engram points the second you get them, because you will not get enough to learn everything. You can reset them later in the game, but to start with you only want to learn what you need. So go back into the inventory, crafting, and we can make the first pick. You just double left click it and then go back to inventory, and you can drag, if you left click it and hold, you can drag it down to one of the action bars, which means whenever you press 1 it'll equip it for you. So if we go back to crafting, we need an axe next. So to get flint we need to use the pickaxe on one of the larger rocks, and there's one there. So if we press 1, he's equipped the axe, shift to make him run to get there a bit quicker, and we'll just go up to this and left click, and what you might find is, like, that is a piece of scenery. So we'll go and find another one. Plenty of dodos, they're handy. We'll be helping them become extinct shortly. So left click, and we get our flint and another level as well. Just while we're at it, if you notice, at the bottom of the pickaxe on the wonky there's a little blue bar. The weapons do have health, and after a while they break and you have to repair them. And let's just press I to add on another point. So going for health again, and again I'm going to come off the engrams for now. So press I to go into the inventory, crafting. What do we need to? Right, we need thatch. So the pickaxe is actually very good at getting thatch from trees. So if we just go up to the tree, left click, and we've now got a lot more thatch than we would if we were actually hitting it, and another level. So let's just make the axe by going into the inventory, crafting, double left click the axe. The axe doubles up as your first basic weapon as well. Go back to our inventory and put the axe onto number 2. And while we're here, let's have another point in health. And again off the engrams. So the next thing to do is to make a campfire, because if you look down in the bottom right hand corner you can see our food is getting pretty low. So inventory, crafting, and we can make our campfire. We already have enough, so double left click and we'll create our campfire. Back to your inventory, and if we press E with the mouse over the campfire it will allow us to place it on the floor. If you zoom in with your mouse wheel it makes it a little bit easier. So left click and we now have a campfire. Zoom back out. Right, so if we go up to the campfire we can press F or E to access its inventory. Campfires require wood as a fuel, so let's left click and drag that across into that. Now we need to go and grab some meat. So it's time for a dodo to become extinct. So let's select the axe with number 2 and just pop back over here where we saw a dodo. And there's one. Anyone close? Right, so what we're going to do is hit the dodo. The dodo is going to try and run away, so we're going to press the W key to chase after it and shift as well to run. So let's start beating it. You can keep the left mouse button press, and one extinct dodo. So I've zoomed in and we're going to chop up a dodo. And if we go back to our campfire, one really important thing in ARK is really take note of where you are all the time and don't get lost. It will happen to you and it's a real pain if you can't get back to your base. So press F to go into the campfire's inventory. We can now move across by left clicking and dragging the meat, light the fire, and that will now start and cook this meat for us. Eating raw meat is not good, so let's just close out of that for a second. Campfires will burn you, by the way, if you stand on them. Let's press I. So another point to spend. I'm going to put a little bit in weight this time, and again we'll come off the engrams because I only want to use those when we're ready for them. So put the axe away with 2, and if we press F on the campfire, we have some food and charcoal. So if you drag the food to your inventory, or cooked meat rather, hover the mouse over it, press E. Maybe come out of it, press inventory and press E. There we go. So we've now eaten a piece of food, and in the bottom right hand corner you can see that the ham that represents food has gone up a bit, so we can eat another piece of that. So that's solved that problem. We're not too hungry now. Campfire can be left to burn to produce some more. We'll drag that across, back into the inventory, and eat it. Okay, so we can now survive. We know there's some more dodos over there, and we can get more wood to put on the fire if necessary. The next thing is to actually start building your first base, and to do that we need thatch foundation and we need a storage box to put things in because our inventory is going to fill up. First of all, let's get rid of this extra rubbish in our inventory. If you hover over these things and press O, you can just chuck things on the floor. You will do this in the game when you pick rubbish up that you actually don't want. So there we go, we're down to just what items we're interested in. So let's go inventory and click on the engrams, and what we're after now is we want a thatch foundation, so double left click to learn it, and we want the storage box, so double left click that. While we're here we might as well learn the first clothing, and you can just hear the fire's gone out because it's run out of wood. So I'm just double left clicking these to learn them. I'm not going to bother with the water skin because if you're near water you really don't need it, and they tend to empty on their own accord anyway. So let's come off that, and we'll just get a little bit more wood for our fire. So run over to this bit of driftwood, press 2 to get the axe out, left click and hold, and chop it over. And we'll go and put that. Fires also provide warmth as well, so when it gets cold at night you can get warm by standing next to them. These basic campfires only have 3 slots, so before we can put some more wood in, we've got to take out the charcoal and the meat, put the wood back in and light the fire again. Okay, so let's see, put the axe away by pressing 2, go onto the inventory, crafting, what do we need to make a thatch foundation? We'll make 4 of these, so we need fibre, thatch and wood. So fibre comes from the greenery that's all over the island. You just go up to it, press E, and you'll start harvesting berries, fibre and seeds as well. You can actually set up crop pots, as they call them, later on in the game and grow your own berries. It can be very useful. We'll just collect a little bit more. You can eat berries as well, apart from the stim berries and the narco berries. They don't give you as much food as meat, which is why it's important to get your campfire set up really quickly. So crafting, we now need some wood. Okay, let's have some more weight. That noise is a loot crate coming down. Okay, I'll let that land and we'll have a look. We probably won't be able to get it yet because we won't be high enough level, but let's collect some more wood. So go up to a tree, with the axe, equipped, and chop it down. And on the right hand side you can see that the symbol that represents the weight that's going up. If you have too much weight on you, you can't move. Put the axe away, number 2. We'll go up to this E or F to access the inventory. Oh, and look at this, brilliant. So we're going to take all these items off this loot crate. If you click this button here, it just takes the whole lot off it in one go. So that was a pretty decent loot crate, because we now go into inventory. We've got clothes. So if we press E on each of these items, we're now a bit more decent. These blueprints allow you to make better quality items. They've usually got more durability, so that's 33 as opposed to 25, yeah, so we could make those as well. They just usually take more resources. So let's make some foundation. Inventory, crafting. Now if you right click this, we can make 4 in one go, so we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll start with our first little hut. Just let it create. And again, you get experience points for doing pretty much everything in ARK, and there we go, we've leveled up again. So we'll put a little bit into melee damage. And again, I'll come off the engrams. If we go into the inventory, we can see these thatch foundations that we've made. I like to drag them down to one of the number keys and then come off the inventory, because now if we press 6, we've got the foundation to place. Just left click and left click again. 6 again. 6 again. 6 again. And move your character around to position them where you want them. Generally, stuff snaps pretty well, but sometimes it can be a bit of a pain. So I think the last thing to do for this particular session is to create a box. So if we're going to crafting for a box, we need a few more thatch. So number 1 for the pick. We'll just go and chop this tree a little bit, and we've got plenty of thatch. So back down to our starter base, inventory, crafting, double left click the storage box, and create to the inventory, press E, and then you can move around while you've got this selected. And we'll put it, don't put it really tight on the edges, because if you then want to put a wall on, it'll be in the way and you'll have to move it. So left click to place it, and then if we go up to it and press E or F to access its inventory, we can now move across a lot of the stuff that we're carrying. So it means you can collect a lot more wood and keep bringing it back, and they stack in like stacks of 100 and 300 for certain things, etc, etc. So we don't need to keep carrying everything around with us. Let's just put it all in there, and you can make as many boxes as you need. And there we go. So if we now go and check fire, put the axe away, check the fire. With F, we've got more wood, more meat. So move the meat into our inventory and put out the fire. And close. So there we go. That's the real basics of ARK. If you want, you could now go into your inventory, crafting, make more of those, or if you go on to your engrams, you can now make your thatch walls, ceiling and doors. Walls, you usually want to make it too high, and you get your door frame doors as well. Have a play with ARK from here, and the next one will go into a bit more detail. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.